So welcome to Identity's Open Office Hours on Thursday, July 9th. As we were chatting off camera for a second ago, I can't believe this year is just flying by. I need to actually count how many of these we have done so we can celebrate, I don't know, our 50th show or something like that. Oh, we've done 14, never mind. Okay, we'll celebrate our 25th show. But today, just like you guys know, the format, we have a little bit, I'd like to give a little bit of news of what's happening in the digital world. Digital marketing world rather, and within that I'm going to get started. Oh, and of course after that we talked about I opened the floor so that if you guys have questions, we can actually help you guys out. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and the first thing that I want to talk about was so the subcommittee of the Congress, I believe the House in the US has actually called in the CEOs of Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google to testify on antitrust because they're so dominant in their market. They're looking into they're looking if any of these companies have violated any laws that have to do with monopolies, right? So that's going to be interesting to see what's going to come out of that. We know Facebook has been in a little bit of hot waters for a bit now because of privacy, and basically the censorship of content on platforms has also been on the eye of the storm, if you will, for a little bit now. So we will see what is going to come out of this. It's on Monday, July 27th at 12, as you guys see right here. So Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Tim Cook from Apple, Sundar Pichai from Google, and Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. We're going to be testifying or going to be talking on this hearing. So that's the first thing I want to talk about today. Second thing, there is a new pilot program that Google is testing on your Google My Business listings. So they did this in 2017, they did this in 2019, and it seems that it's coming back. They are talking about this being a very small, focalized pilot test. But what they're doing is that on your Google My Business listing, they're actually showing ads. If you look at it right now, probably on your own listings, you may not see them necessarily, but Google is actually putting these ads back in as a test, again, in a very small market. They always, as always mentioned, right, all these companies always test things out and roll them out very specifically to certain groups of users or a certain group of businesses, perhaps. So this is just a test. I particularly am not a fan of it. I think a Google My Business should be representative of that business. I think that it could be misleading if you have somebody else's advertising there. So I hope this, just like in 2017 and in 2019, this test doesn't go anywhere. Third thing I wanted to talk about today is, I know some of us are fans of Instagram. So Instagram is testing again a new feature where you're going to be able to see all the stories. So you can actually click to see all stories. So instead of having just that one line, you can see all the stories on, excuse me, on your feed. So I thought that was a little nifty thing that that Instagram is testing right now. And last but not least, Microsoft has introduced a digital marketing center. Very interesting enough, we haven't applied yet. You actually have to apply because it's in beta right now, it's testing. But from what they actually say, they're trying to create, or they're creating rather, a hub where you can connect different platforms. So you can connect, I think it's your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, basically like an all-in-all management platform. You can actually even, allegedly, of course, based on the reports that I've read, you can actually even run Facebook ads or Instagram ads. You will be able to run them through this platform. As I mentioned, they are in beta testing, and yeah, well, you guys are going to see the link, but because they are in beta testing, you need to actually contact them to apply to get access to this. It's currently on a free trial. Most likely what I think will happen is they're obviously going to charge for this. but it's interesting that now Microsoft is sort of coming into the game, right? Into this sector. Just as a reminder, Microsoft owns LinkedIn, and they also have Bing, which is a competitor search engine from Google. And that is all of the updates that I have for today. So, do you guys have any questions about what I just talked about right now? No? Are we good with this?
Yeah.
Interesting?
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about Microsoft and what they're doing to have all the social media platforms in one space, because that is something that we have been looking for just to make it easier on ourselves. And really, there is no platform out there doing all of the platforms that we use. So I know, actually, Efren, you're going to say to me, there are options to be able to manage all of those platforms. But for me, and the budget I want to spend on it, I'm finding it still more effective to just go into each one.
Absolutely, and you bring a great point. I think the differentiator here for Microsoft is going to be their price point. We obviously use a bunch of platforms, or we have used a bunch of platforms to manage all of our clients' accounts. And yeah, their differentiator is going to be their price point. Hopefully they price it reasonably enough that a small business will be able to actually access. We'll see what comes up. But talking about that, Lori, and I'm happy you mentioned that, maybe this is something, I'm not entirely sure what platforms you're talking about, but maybe this is something that you want to take a look at. We just did a demo with them this week on Monday or Tuesday, I believe it was. They seem very. I actually talked to the CEO, and they seem very, very focused. It seems like a pretty good program, a pretty good platform. It won't work for us for other reasons, but the super interesting thing about this is, and as I've always said, maybe I should start getting an AppSumo affiliate link.
You should.
I totally should. Yeah, I have to look into that. I'm not sure if they actually do, but they are in AppSumo right now, which makes it very cost effective. Of course, if the platform works for you, it actually makes it cost effective, because the AppSumo deal is, I think, $40, and you can connect. Here it is. Yeah, up to 30 social media accounts on a $40, and that's a lifetime thing, right?
What?
That's
Sorry, one-time purchase instead of like $700.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's exactly it. So we were looking at oh, there you go. We were looking at this to work for our own agency. Pitifully, it doesn't have some of the features that we use to manage our clients. But yeah, it's if it works for you and it has all the functionality that you want, and they have an amazing demo. They actually go with you on the phone and they show you everything that you need. So yeah, I would definitely look into them, because they for this price is very, very, very cost effective, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't understand though why companies, they have it on their site as $683 and then they AppSumo it for $39. Doesn't that kind of water down the pool?
I'm not sure how the deal is between AppSumo and these companies, but basically these companies that come in AppSumo, they give it for free to build momentum, to build reviews, to build testimonials. Not for free, but for a very small price, right?
Yeah.
And that's how they grow their platforms. So there's a couple of actually other platforms that started in AppSumo. Oh, it's not Sendable. What's the other one that we used to use? Plannable? Planable. So Planable was in AppSumo about 2.5 years ago, I think. Very similar price, like 30, 40 bucks. And it's also they usually come in AppSumo and they're very early in their life. So if you believe in the company, you believe in the roadmap that they all have, it's obviously a great way to go in at the very, very beginning.
So there is a potential that Publer could go under or something like that.
Not necessarily
No.
under, but that the features may not be developed as quickly. But you know what? Most of the AppSumos that I've had, which are quite a bit, are they're still valid. They're still developing. They're still adding to it. So I'm not, that's the only caution that I would have. But if it works for you at 40 bucks, that's the cost of
damn
like
cheap.
four Starbucks coffees, isn't it? No, or 3.
Yeah. 3.
So, yeah. So take a look at it and
2.5.
see. Yeah, exactly. Just a little one on the last one. But yeah, take a look at it, and if it obviously works for what you need, the platforms that you use, and the way that you work, I would definitely get in. Oh, and the other thing about AppSumo, again, I should get an affiliate link, is that most deals offer a 60-day money guarantee. So you can go buy it, test it, and if you don't like it within 60 days, you can go and refund the money.
Well, that just made it extra sweet.
I know, eh? A lot of my colleagues and I and friends that are in the industry, naturally, we are almost addicted to AppSumo. And we're like, oh my God, I'm definitely going to use this. I'm definitely going to use this soon, right? This is awesome. I'm going to use it now. And I have a list of AppSumo that actually my project coordinator was organizing of the stuff that I haven't used. But it's just such a good deal not to take it. But yeah.
Oh, it's the bargain shopping where you overshop.
Absolutely. That's it, right? I don't think I need this now, but I'm 100% sure I'm going to need it 2 months from now. So I'm going to get it right now. But yeah. Anyways,
Cool.
yeah, if you don't have more questions about this, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. And I am going to finish this recording for July 9th, 2020.